Firstly, can you elaborate or tell us a bit more?
As I always say, in economics, everything has a cost and a benefit. You have to balance that. You cannot have anyone to do anything for you without a cost. By the way, we are sitting here right now. The chair that I'm sitting on, this costs something to buy this chair. And even if you have this chair, it's not free. Even if someone gives this to you as free, as a gift, that person has to pay for it. If that person doesn't pay for it, someone else has to pay for it to give this chair to you. You go to a supermarket, you buy something, you take something. You have to pay for it. It can be expensive, it can be cheaper, that's okay. The point is there's a cost and its benefit. The same about investment from another countries. When China comes here, they invest, they pay you money, and they get the resources. I heard nowadays some people say let's plunder the resources of Africa. I think this is rhetorical. Remember, in economics, there's always those who are the pros, those who are the cons. Those who don't like it will shout and yell and make all this kind of jargons and accuse you with all this kind of rhetoric, there's fear-mongering and all that. Those who are for that will glorify that and say, oh, it's so wonderful, it's a paradise and all that. As a thinker, as a visionary, I don't side with any of them. I always look into cost and benefits. By cost and benefits, I don't mean money, by the way, just in case you think that. I use it only as a metaphor. As a metaphor, advantages and disadvantages about life, the negative and the positive. The same about Chinese investment here in Africa. There are a lot of good things that they have done, but there are also costs. Now, the most important point, as I always said in any interview, is that what is your alternative? I can think only of 2 or 3 major alternatives for Africa to consider seriously. The first alternative is you kick out the Chinese. Do not allow China anymore to trade with you, to invest in your country, and then you will see how it's going to affect your economy. Blacks, Africans are not as irrational or stupid as people may think. They know what they are doing. And the fact that many African countries nowadays are inviting the Chinese to come because it benefits them. People are not so irrational as you might think they are. We often underestimate people in underdeveloped countries that they invite so-and-so and come. That's because it benefits them for them. They need all those investments. The same thing in America. In the 1980s, for example, there was an anti-Japanese sentiment in America saying that the Japanese, they came in, they plundered the resources because of competition. The American car manufacturing was losing to the Japanese, and people burned the Japanese car and said that buy in America and they are so and so and so. Think about this. There's a certain resentment when people are doing much better. But the Japanese car at that time, in many cases, they are cheaper and they are much better than the American cars. That's why many Americans started to buy Japanese cars, not even American cars. Now you have some of the resentment among some people. Now they talk about China. My prediction that sooner or later in the future they will talk about India too. They maybe talk about Mexico or some other countries. This is endless. It's very natural in life. There are people who are the pros, they are the cons. But my advice to you is that think in terms of cost-benefit analysis. If the costs are more than the benefit, then don't do it. If the benefits are more than the cost, then do it now. Our cost benefits are not about money. It's about as a metaphor. The second option for you to do is do that yourself. If you are tired of people coming in and do the investment for you, why do you not do this yourself? Look at the Chinese. They make everything. They manufacture everything. Everything that is made in China. How come you cannot do it? Now, you are trying to blame the Chinese for your own problem, but how do you do not manufacture yourself? Produce things yourself. Then you stop saying that. And then, by the way, if you produce everything yourself and you sell them, other people will say that you, the Africans, are colonizing them. Now, there's another problem again. See then, now what's the third solution is that invite the former colonial powers back in. Invite the German, the Italian, the French, the British, the American, whoever that you care like, and ask them to come back here. And then to do all this for you. And see if you are happier that way. So there are 3 realistic solutions. Number 1, kick them out, and then you will see what is going to happen to you. Number 2, do it yourself. Stop blaming other people. Make things yourself. Manufacture things yourself. Don't have any import anymore. Fine. Number 3, invite the former colonial powers back in because you have no other options nowadays. So do that.
And then see how you survive.
And then see how you survive, and this is how you feel better. Then the conversation is, otherwise it's just emotional. I am you, you are this is just fear mongering. Well, you're not thinking about solution. Just as an analogy, because you are a woman, I mentioned that too. Just something about the feminists. They blame a lot of problem that they have on men. Men also have a lot of problem too, by the way. But we don't blame our problems and say, we have this problem, man problem because of women. We don't do that. We try to solve the problem. In many cases, we did not solve the problem. Many of the problem by men, they are still going on. But we don't point the fingers because of women. They are bad, they are matriarchal, they are sexist or something like that. But feminists blame everything on men. There's something about black in America. They blame everything on white. So I'm saying that, yes, there's some truth to that, but I'm saying stop blaming. Find a solution. This is the 3 alternative solution. And by the way, just in case you do not know, China also offers a lot of aid to Africa too. And that's also very important. And many of the debts that Africa has, China offers debt cancellation because many of the African countries often come back and say, we cannot pay, can you cancel that? Zimbabwe is a good example. Zimbabwe has asked China many times to cancel the debt, and China did. Can you say thank you to that? And if you're not happy about that, why do you not just invest in China and help the Chinese? There are a lot of poor people in China. Why do you not help them? And they come and help you and you say that you are complaining. Okay, why do you just go to China and help the Chinese people? And you don't help any of them, and then you are complaining they want to come here and help you. Awesome.